Hello and welcome to my unboxing and first look at the Warhammer 40,000 Codex Chaos Knights. Now, I did recently purchase a Chaos Knight. They just released one kit and this codex and called it a day. I thought that was quite lazy. Maybe they had their resources ploughed into Primaris with the new Executioner, or even Mechanicus with the Scorpius tank, but still I felt there could have been more, and it was definitely a missed opportunity considering the success, the huge success of the Imperial Knights. I see so many Imperial Knight armies, so many people in the community really like Imperial Knights and the models, and I certainly did. When they came out a few years ago, I bought a few. A year later they released another kit, and then a few years after that they then released the Canis Rex kit, you know, where you can make about 7 different knights. And I really thought that Games Workshop would have built on that success. I mean, they certainly did at the start, and give Chaos players at least the same amount as what Imperial Knight players have had, or Imperial players or Loyalist players have had, collectors have had, but they didn't, and I really did feel that was a missed opportunity, because if they did, and if they had created that Chaos Knight with parts that were kind of interchangeable, so that you could have different legs or different poses with an Imperial Knight, then I think more people would have bought the Chaos Knights just for their Imperial Knight armies. I really do, and that is a missed opportunity in both fronts. One, treating your Chaos customers sort of equally, I guess, by giving them as much choice as possible as the Loyalist players, and also as a double-edged positive, it would also benefit the Loyalist collectors by allowing them to purchase the Knight. As the situation unfolded, we're left in this middle ground where, yeah, we got a couple of Chaos Knights. Oh, and if you want the rest of them, like the War Dogs and the Castellans, yeah, you're just going to have to do that yourself. So I felt it was a bit of a kick in the teeth, really, and a huge missed opportunity. They could have released different sprues for the different Chaos Gods as well, like a Tzeentch one, or specifically a Nurgle one. I mean, I know a lot of Nurgle Death Guard will kit bash and use green stuff, and you know, and that's perfectly fine, but there's just nothing available for the hobbyists and the collectors out of the box for those armies. Anyway, I waffle on too much at the start of these videos. Anyway, this book is very small. It's only 72 pages, so it's a short book, and they are wanting to sell it at the same price as all the other codex. This is still the same price, £25. I think that's again a bit poor. If it's below £100, I think £20 maximum for the codex. I welcome the hardbacks, you know, even a 70-page book in hardback, I'd always welcome a hardback. I'm not going to knock it. I don't want to go back to the times when we have softback codexes, or that we have these hardback codexes in a short space of time. Do you remember that, guys? Do you remember the Craftworld's debacle there, where the Craftworld's Codex was available in hardback for a limited time, and then it came out in softback? That was awful times. So I welcome the fact that they're all in hardback and that you can all get them, and if that means that Games Workshop take a slight hit on the thicker codexes, but charge a bit more on these, I'm still for that. Although I think at a certain page, a certain content level, books should be cheaper. I know that isn't necessarily how kind of printing works and things, but that's just my take on it, just my opinion. So inside you'll find detailed account of the fallen knight households, including their origins and their descent into chaos, colour schemes and heraldry used by some of the most feared Chaos Knights, and a showcase of Chaos Knights miniatures expertly painted by the Heavy Metal team, a range of data sheets providing tabletop rules for the units in the Chaos Knights army, army-wide rules, content that allows you to transform your collection of Chaos Knights miniatures into a dreaded host of adamantine giants fit to conquer in the name of the Dark Gods. So yeah, the premise is brilliant. You know, Imperial Knights gone bad. There's some lovely new artwork in this. We'll go through it page by page, pretty much, give you a full first look, an overview. So you've got a nice introduction there. Greetings, heretic, your warp throne awaits. I'm not starting a Chaos Knight army by any means. This is purely an aesthetic choice to have a Chaos Knight with my Chaos Space Marines, just to give them a bit more long range firepower and a bit more oomph in combat as well. So there's the new artwork there, absolutely fantastic. Just obliterated an Imperial Knight. I think it looks like an Imperial, it might even be an Armiger. I think it's just a normal Knight though. There's some more artwork, fantastic. That's the Renegade artwork. That was a fantastic way, by the way, of picking up 2 Imperial Knights on the cheap. Path to Damnation. Engines of Ruin. Questor Traitoris Heraldry. Icon classed houses, so House Lucaris, House Herpetrax, a bit like herpes really, isn't it? House Chimera, I think mine might be House Chimera. House Vextrix, House Commentis, and then Dreadblades, Sire of Doom, Decima, Incarnate Slaughter, and the Gilded King. Then you've got Hope Shroud, Acer Empyrean Scythe, Crowned Inglorious, Litany of Destruction, and Hatred of Crastellan. We've heard of Litany of Destruction before. And then Fallen Night Worlds. And then a Saga of Destruction. All the codexes follow this same format. This time you've got sort of nice 4 pages worth of history. There's the Knight Renegade artwork. And then these are the different types of knights. So here you've got the Knight Desecrator. So these are the ones with the ridiculous long weapon. You've got they say mid to close range armaments. You've got Thunderstrike Gauntlet, or the Chainsaw, or the Reaper Chainsword. And then the other weapon is the Laser Destructor. It's capable of coring a foot-wide hole through solid adamantine from 1,000 yards away. Amazing, and it just makes me wonder why Imperial Knights don't have that weapon, but oh well. Then you got the Knights Rampager, which, let's face it guys, is just a gallant. Corrupted Knights, so you got Knights Despoiler, Knights Tyrant, War Dogs, Idolaters? Yeah, Idolaters. Heraldry of the Fallen. And then Iron Malice, a Knight Desecrator of House Lucaris, piloted by Obidar, equipped with Laser Destructor, Thunderstrike Gauntlet, and Heavy Stubber. And then there's a Dreadblade Knight Rampager. So they're your 2 knights in all this. If there's one thing to take away, you've got a Desecrator and a Rampager. Rampager, that makes sense. It's got close combat weapons. Desecrator, it desecrates things. It's got that massive Laser Destructor cannon. And then you've got a Knight Tyrant, which are the Castellan type knights. Again, that Volcano Lance is a fantastic weapon. And there's Litany of Destruction, like an old school Chaos Knight. And this one looks amazing, Gilded King, nice and gold and black. And then Destruction Incarnate. So you've got a nice little army here comprising of one of the new Chaos Knights and 2 War Dogs. One with the Melter Lance and the other one with the auto cannons. And then this is a larger army, the Dread Lance of Decima. You've got the Gilded King there as well. Yeah, a lot of firepower, a lot of close combat potential. Let's face it, that's about £450 worth of knights. quite expensive, but you know, army that contains the least amount of models. Then we go through the data sheet. So you've got the dreaded host, and it starts off with a war dog. It contains one war dog, and you can include an extra war dog, and then you can mix and match them. So how it differs from the Imperial Knights Codex and the Armigers and Helverins is that you can mix and match them. You can have one with the autocannons and one with the thermal spears. But other than that, they're pretty much the same. Then you've got the Knight Despoiler. Just got the Reaper Chainsword and Thumbstrike Gauntlet. You've got a Knight Tyrant there, which has got the Volcano Lance. And then you can swap the Volcano Lance with the Conflagration Cannon, so you can have the other like Castellan type Knight. And then you've got the two new ones, which is the Desecrator, the one with this laser destructor, which is a nice 60-inch range weapon. Its range is less and it has less shots, and the AP isn't as good as the Volcano Lance, but it can inflict D3 mortal wounds on sixes, on wounds of sixes. You know, still with an effective range there of 72 inches, but yeah, just isn't as good in most aspects to the Volcano Lance, but still a very, very potent weapon anyway for a knight. And then you've got the Knight Rampagers, and that's it. So that is all the data sheets you get in the Knight Codex. Yes, I said it was about 70 odd pages or so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It just goes to show you just how sort of compact this is, this codex and this army is. You know, you can build a force very, very quickly. You don't have to worry about too many different types. The Despoiler is basically just your normal knight that you get in the Canis Rex box. Your War Dogs can be your Helverins or your Armigers, or your Warglaves. Your Tyrant can be your Castellans. Your Desecrator is the new one in the set, and the Rampager is also the new one in the set. There's only one box set for the Chaos Knights, and I just wish that they'd make another box set that was... They've done it before. Games Workshop have done it with Adeptus Titanicus. They released like a sprue, that's not necessarily in a box, it's just a sprue in a bag to add more weapons and things for your Warlord Titans for that game. And I would just have thought that Knights being as popular as they are, and the the Armigers and the Castellans being as popular as they are, for them to have just had the foresight to have made a sprue to upgrade your Despoilers, your Tyrants and your War Dogs, or maybe a separate sprue just for the War Dogs. But it would have been nice to have them all bundled in one, maybe as one sprue, or a box of a couple of sprues, and then instead of them having to create a brand new product, new box set and things like that, and put that sprue in the box and say, oh well, now instead of it's a Castellan, it's a Tyrant. People could just buy both, pick up both the sets, or even upgrade their current Imperial Knights if they wanted to move them over to Chaos. But yeah, it would have been nice to see more of these and different versions. That would be great. Anyway, moving on, you've got the armaments, so all of the weapons for them. A nice photograph there of the Imperial Knights, or the Mechanicus Knights, sorry, versus the Chaos ones. Might of the Fallen Houses. You've got an Iconoclast Household Ambition. So these different ambitions, and then you've got stratagems. Artifacts of Tyranny. Warlord traits. And then points values. And then tactical objectives. And that's pretty much it. A very concise codex, pretty short, but if you want to know more about Chaos Knights, there's a good section of lore and background there. I mean, and the different households. There's some nice artwork. You pretty much got almost 40 pages there of the stuff, which is all right. I guess, you know, more than half of the book is all of the lore and backstory and things like that. So that's nice, and you've got some lovely looking pictures of them as well to give you some ideas. But yeah, it's not as short as the first ever Knight Codex. I don't think that was very short, but it was still hardback, and that only had 2 data sheets, whereas this one has at least got 5, and you can excuse it in a little way that all of those like 7 different knights, or 6 different knights really, are just included in one data sheet, and the war dogs encompass 2, and the tyrant encompasses 2 as well. So there's been a few data sheets squished into one, if that makes sense. What do you guys think of the Chaos Knights Codex and of Chaos Knights in general? Do you share my opinion that it's a bit of a missed opportunity for Games Workshop, and if they'd given it an extra year or so, then they may well have had enough time to produce more than just one night for the release? Or do you think it was about time to release them, coming off of the back of Abaddon and the Demon Spear box set? Please do put your thoughts and opinions down below as always. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. Death to the False Emperor.